Well, first we'll talk about the ACC. I took Georgia winning the SEC. You think I made a good bet there?
Ooh,
No, no, I'm sorry. I didn't take Georgia. I took Ole Miss. I'm sorry. I took Ole Miss winning the SEC. Ole Miss. I'm looking at my bets now. I took SEC. I took Ole Miss to win the SEC overall.
man, you talk about a just. I don't know who has inside edge there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like Lane Kiffin again, one of the coaches that you know a lot of people like his bravado, like his showmanship and things like that. He's done some great things for college
Hmm.
football. Finally, looks like again, like I say, this is one of those situations. Prime example of now you have the talent, you have proven to be a good coach.
Yeah.
So now let's see what you can do.
Right.
Um, I don't know, man. SEC's wide open to be honest
Yeah,
with
it is.
you. Yeah,
Who you think the SEC coming down to? Four team. Give me four teams. The four top teams in the SEC to you.
Texas,
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah.
I still gotta go with Alabama.
Alabama.
There's still a lot of talent there. Kellen DeBoer, his record speaks
Hmm.
for itself. Um, and
You want to say Mizzou, huh?
no, I'm really stuck between Ole Miss and LSU.
Mm. You
Um,
think LSU could make that jump this year, bro?
I mean Brian Kelly's. You say whatever you want about him, but he's. I mean, he's probably the most current like active head coaches. Like he's probably the best collegiate football coach that does not have a national championship
See,
right now.
I knew I should have called you before I placed my bets, bro. I could still
Okay.
go in there and do it again. I
I
knew I
don't
should have called you.
I don't know, but this the thing though, right? There's an aura because I was listening to this last night. Uh,
Hmm.
there's an aura around Georgia right now.
Yeah.
Minus the off the field things, right? But there's some individuals that really are on the wagon of like Nick Saban, like the person
Yeah.
retired,
Right.
but the Nick Saban mentality, the Nick Saban impact on college football
Yeah.
is still here, and he's over there in Athens.
Okay.
So there's some
Yeah.
people that feel like it's about to be another 16, 17 years of foot on neck and 4 or 5
Hmm.
natties going through Athens. So that's the safe bet. Why would it's a proven commodity.
Yeah.
Uh, I've had this conversation on some other outlets where you look at the playoffs this past year. Like
Right.
Georgia goes undefeated, you lose to Alabama, and you don't get to play in the playoffs, right?
Right.
But I don't think even when you like, I don't think Michigan beats Georgia.
Oh. Oh.
I
Oh.
don't like the thing. I know this ain't a conversation, but like you said, we just freestyling, right? And this is a
All right.
hypothetical, and some
Yeah.
Michigan fans may feel a way about this, but like the Alabama that they beat is not like the Alabama that they beat is not like
Hmm.
typical Nick Saban Alabama.
No, it wasn't.
The
It wasn't.
typical Nick Saban Alabama is in Athens, Georgia, and
Right.
they got to see that up close and personal their first year in the playoffs.
Yeah. For sure.
So you're not under no circumstances do I see a situation where JJ McCarthy could have gone out there and played the way that he played against Alabama and thinking that was going to get it done against Georgia. That like under no circumstances.
They like because
No.
like I've been saying this a lot lately. I've been saying that Michigan's sole purpose of coming back last year was to win a national title.
They
Georgia's
get it done.
sole purpose to come back this year, all those players that came back from Georgia this year, they want to win a title. Same thing with the Big 12. There's a team in the Big 12 that's doing that, but I didn't take that. I want to talk about them a little bit last. But I took Ohio State to win the Big Ten. I thought about Oregon. I thought real strong about Oregon, but I just think that Ohio State, they just want, like, they're gonna have a different type of want and need to win that conference. And Oregon, and I'm kind of giving Oregon a pass here by saying they're new there. I do think that it'll come down to those two teams, Oregon and Ohio State, but I ultimately think that Ohio State will prevail over Oregon. Now, was that a safe joint? Was that what you think? Because I know you're big on Oregon over there, so it's gonna be hard for me to. It's gonna be hard for you to say that. You know, you just so big on Oregon.
No, but I mean, but when you look at talent for talent, name for name, roster for roster, I think it's clear that those are the two most talented rosters in college football. They just so happen to reside in the same conference, which is something that LSU and Alabama, had the luxury of having for the last decade or so. But you're seeing it now with Oregon and Ohio State. Ohio State's ceiling to me is going to come down to what Ryan Day can do with whatever quarterback goes out in the field, Will Howard. Right now, Oregon is at a point right now where it's like we rebuilt Bo Nix, and Dylan Gabriel was not bad at Oklahoma by any stretch. Like he was good. So we're just going to insert him into this particular machine, and we're just going to keep on rolling. Because I think most people that looked at Oregon last year, they really looked at it from a vantage point of saying they had both of those Washington games won. It would just came down to Dan Lanning being a rookie head coach, being a little bit more aggressive, kind of doing, as they say, the Dan Campbell thing, where it's like, hey, it's fourth down, hey, let's go for it. You know what I mean? I trust in our guys. I feel like that we are going to out execute you, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't. I thought they should have beat Washington last year too, though. I agree with that because I thought they should have beat them. Now, this is a different kind of question, but I had to throw one of these teams up in there. I took Toledo to win the MAC. I mean, the MAC is pretty much down to like two teams, right? You look at maybe three. Maybe you look at Miami of Ohio. Maybe you'll look at Ohio Bobcats, and then Toledo. So I did take Toledo to win the MAC. I know that really don't matter, but this is about to shock you, right? To win the Big 12, I took Iowa State to win the Big 12.
Again, I'm just.
It's just your opinion. We just freestyling.
No. But this is the thing, though. I can't remember the last time in college football where there has been a situation like this, where regardless of the conference that you look at, it's like, well, man, it's like four teams that got an opportunity to win this. So, like, the gist of it is the Big 12. So, like, Utah could win it. Kansas could win it. Oklahoma State. You took Iowa State. Some people feel like, Nebraska's going to be pretty good. Nebraska not. Yeah, Nebraska ain't in the Big 12.
Nah, they not. They not.
But there's four teams right there, and then obviously you got the Colorado Coalition who feel like that they're taking a step down in competition, which is going to need
they're
them.
not. They're not.
I mean,
speaking on that,
I cannot think of a time in college football. I've been watching college football for over a decade. I cannot think of a situation where there just has been this much just overall talent just sprinkled out amongst multiple teams within the conference. Because you look at we have the same conversation 5 years ago, right? Okay, who wins the ACC? Clemson, without question. All right, who wins the SEC? Oh, well, it's Alabama. Who wins the Big 12? I'd probably go with Oklahoma. Big 10. Oh, well, it's Ohio State, right?
Right.
That's just 5 years ago. So you fast forward to now, we've literally went over the Power Four, and you threw in the MAC, and we're literally sitting up here like, you know, and to the Big Ten's, I mean, to the Big Ten credit, it's not just Oregon, Ohio State. I mean, like I say, some people are banking on Nebraska. There's some people, even though he's catching, you know, a hell of a lot of flack right now, but I mean, some people may still have faith in USC. Penn State is still, you know, Penn State is still around. You got, like I
I
said,
think people sleeping on Penn State.
Yeah, you got a 12-team playoff, so you know they could very well. I mean, so it's just so if really if you're picking a conference winner right now, it is more so. And I'm not saying this about you, but I'm just saying it like for anybody else. Like if you're picking a conference winner right now, I think you're picking it more so. And I just say from my vantage point, you're picking it more so on a name that you feel like should be better than our bench. Like you pick Miami. Okay, well, on paper, Miami's done a lot. There's a lot of media pumping up Miami. So a person would say, oh, well, Miami has the best team. So, and I remember Miami, they used to be good. So maybe
that was strictly faith-based. I'm going to be honest with you. That was a strictly faith-based pick right there. Me picking Miami. I got faith in them. If I didn't have so much support from Miami, I probably wouldn't have took Miami to win the ACC. But
the thing of it is, though, you know, because of affiliation, that Miami has been able to pick up a lot of good players.
Right.
So as I say, so in contrast to the rest of the ACC, you don't see the rest of the ACC having the portal haul that Miami got. We picked up Tyler Barron from Tennessee, picked up Simeon Barrow from Michigan State, was able to get Cam Ward, picked up Sam Brown, was able to get Mish Powell, who played for Washington last year, won a national championship runner-up, was able to get a guy like a Kiko Marinoa from Washington State, you know, some impact transfers. Daryl Porter, one of the better corners, you know, another impact transfer. So it's like you look at the rest of the ACC, and from a name perspective, it's like Miami got a lot of names over there, and they're not just names. They're like these guys got NFL aspirations. Like they on some big boards. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So,
and like
So
like when I looked at Miami, right, and by me, y'all do such a great job at breaking down Miami, man. You, South Coast Kane, Coach Hayes, between the three of y'all, man, like I done soaked in so much Miami information, and I started looking at the trenches and what was important, right? I like Zach Carpenter coming from Indiana. I thought he was a good one of the better O-linemen from Indiana, from that roster over there in the Big Ten coming down into Miami, right? And then I looked at last year. I tried to look at last year because I'm still a newborn with this college football thing. Like, just if Deion Sanders never came into college football, I would have never got into college football. My thing is the NFL, to be honest, right? And then that's not hard to tell if you watch me, right? But so I started doing all my research and everything. So I looked at what Miami needed to do better, right? And I thought y'all could have ran the ball a little bit better. So y'all got Damian Martinez, one of the better running backs in the NCAA, right? Yeah. He's down there. Cam Ward, I don't think that Cam Ward needs to play hero ball. I'm banking on the fact that he just needs to hand the ball off. I think if he throws for 250 plus 200, nice 200 game, you ain't got to be over the top with it. Let Damian Martinez carry the load, beat people with time of possession, play some good defense. I think Miami's straight, bro. I think that, and that's where I got that from. Now, as far as me picking Iowa State, and that's largely because they got 19 of their players coming back. They got damn near their whole offense and whole defense coming back, bro. Like, and Rocco Beck was number 4 in a lot of categories as far as a QB, right? He just is a system quarterback over there at Iowa State. And I think people looking at Oklahoma State University is because they're bringing back their whole team also. And then Ollie Gordon on top of that. However, I think where it comes down to Oklahoma at is they have Ollie Gordon, right? But is Alan Bowman Jr. really going to show up for that team in the Big 12? Because his turnovers was crazy. He threw a lot of picks. I think it was, just to think off top, I think it was 14. I could go in my notes to get it, but I think he threw like 14 picks. And you can't turn the ball over like that and expect to be a conference champion. And I looked at that, and I don't know if he'll cut down, even if he cut down on half of those. You got to think, like, let's be honest, Shador's probably going to take care of the ball. I know for sure. I think for sure that Rocco Beck's going to turn over the ball. I think that Iowa State has a good, prestigious program. Correct me when I'm wrong, Kerry, because like I said, I'm still a newborn with this college football thing, but I think that Iowa State has a good, prestigious program. They got a good system quarterback and Rocco Beck. They got some good receivers. They have a good defense that played well last year. And I think they had one of the tougher schedules in the Big 12. But I think that they can get the job done with that. Like, when it comes down to the Big 12. And I like what you was talking about. And I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but when you mentioned the Colorado fans saying that the Big 12 is just a walkthrough and it's not as strong as that, let's dive into that a little bit. What did you mean by that? The Big 12